Hey, are you the new private? I'm First Sergeant Kep. Come with me. Let me teach you something that should be taught, but almost never gets taught in the hobby. Follow me. Come on over. Don't be shy. Let's get started. So, your first lesson, since this is your first event, is real basic, but really important. And that is how to sit. No, that's not what I said. I said sit. I assume at this age you know how to attend to your daily ablutions. We're talking about how to sit at an event. And so we're going to talk about a few important factors in no particular order to make sure that you can sit successfully. First off, we have to respect military courtesy. So don't be going to anyone's camp and making yourself at home unless you first ask and receive permission. Number two, don't just help yourself to anyone's camp furniture. You don't know how to sit yet. And again, you don't have their permission. When you need a seat, and this tip right here, you could write this one down. Save you a ton of time going through the forums and a lot of time saved from having to read a bunch of books and a bunch of diaries. The number one most period correct seat for a Civil War soldier, ready, is the seat of your pants. So the only chair you really need, you already have. You just sit on the ground if you need to sit. Now, if you read manuals and you kind of get into the sort of the customs and psychology of the mid 19th century, you'll learn that they have some weird bugaboos about not sitting directly or being in direct contact with the ground. So maybe you can up your game a little bit by putting down a handkerchief before you take your seat, or sit on your cap. That's also another option for you. But say you have a camp stool or a camp chair, or you're going to use someone else's. This is where learning how to sit is important, because I can't tell you how many new reenactors I've seen come into a camp, make themselves at home in someone else's camp furniture, and watch it shatter. And these are not wobbly pieces of junk. These are items that the reenactor may have been using for years without flaw. And the reason why their chairs and their seats have lasted so long is because they know how to sit. First off, when you sit at a living history event, you are not just falling backwards into the beanbag chair in your game room at home. You are on almost always uneven ground, and you need to test that ground. So we have a stool, and yes, I made this one. And yes, it holds my weight because as a reenactor that brings a little thick to their impression drip, I need to make sure that I know that the things that I have in my camp will hold my weight. We have a talent for sussing that out pretty easily. So the first thing you got to do is, after getting all of your permission, is you have to make sure that whatever you're sitting on is on level ground. So that can be quite the challenge. You may have to move the stool around quite a bit. One of the biggest problems I see people who don't know how to sit make is maybe only two legs will be touching the ground, and then they go and put their weight on it. And this is even for you featherweights out there. It's not always weight dependent. They don't know how the furniture works when they sit. So if you only have a couple points of contact, any weight is going to torque the chair and break the joints. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you move it around, put some weight on it, and make sure it's stable and as level as you can get it given the terrain. Then once it's there, you can go ahead and sit down slowly. Don't plop on period furniture, because yes, some people actually do have 150-year-old furniture at events because they're hardcore. And you don't want to be breaking an antique like that. Those Those types of camp chairs are really hard to find out here on the West Coast, and when you do, they're absurdly expensive. They're a lot cheaper over there, but then you still got to get them over here. So you have to put your weight on it and test whether it's going to stay level, whether or not you hear any weird sounds or creaking or shifting, and ease into the chair. But I skipped a step. So before you sit down, after you level it, before you sit down, also make sure that you don't have any traps on your person, like bayonets and cartridge boxes or whatever else you have on you that may catch, snag, or do weird stuff to whatever it is you're sitting on. So you could damage the upholstery, damage the wood, get caught on stuff, put undue strain on certain parts, and again, the chair will break. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people break perfectly fine camp chairs because they don't know how to sit. So once you make sure that all your gear's situated, isn't going to interfere with the process of sitting, it's stable, it's level, you've tested it slowly with your weight, then go ahead and sit like normal. But when you're on that chair, don't do weird stuff. You shouldn't lean back in good furniture anyway, but definitely don't do it at an event. Be mindful when you shift your weight, because that could do weird stuff. Maybe there's a mole hole or a soft spot in the ground. Just be alert. Like, you don't have to be like constantly vigilant, but don't be careless. And if you do that, you will have a good and successful time sitting at events. Other things that still need some attention is people will sit on anything at an event. So generally 5-board benches tend to be the best load-bearing option. But again, make sure it's level, because you don't want to fall over backwards. You don't want to, tweak any of the woodwork or make it collapse one way or the other. There's a lot of boxes, hardtack boxes and such at events. If you're new and you don't know those people and you don't know their equipment, you don't know what condition it's in and whether or not it can hold any weight. So don't just start plopping on boxes. Ask like, hey, can I grab a seat on that hardtack box? And the person who owns that box will know whether or not it's appropriate for sitting. And say like, yeah, grab a seat. So this way, if you take these common steps, some courtesy, some preparation, some situational awareness, and being aware of your body as you sit, not only will you have a more relaxing time at an event, but you won't make any unnecessary enemies. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know if you have any great tips or tricks for those new folks out there in how to sit successfully at an event. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.